Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest 8-second gaming, and oh my god, I'm so excited for Season 16. Respawn just launched the gameplay trailer, and I've got to admit, I'm at full mast right now. Everything looks amazing, there's so many good changes coming to the game. We're going to be talking about it, breaking it all down, but just quickly guys, right now is the best time to sign up for a GameLeap website membership. You're going to hear all of the changes that are coming as soon as Season 16 comes out, and there's a lot of them. It's going to be overwhelming, but our top level coaches are going to be hopped up on caffeine, getting no sleep, creating the best, most highly informative guides for you guys so that you will have a leg up on the competition. You'll know the meta, you'll know how to use everything better than everyone else will. And right now there's no better time to sign up because we're having a sale. If you click the link in the description, use code LOVEAPEX when signing up for a membership, you get a massive discount. Skip getting Valentine's Day chocolate for somebody else, get yourself a GameLeap membership. Women are temporary, gaming's forever. But okay, let's hop back into things, and we're gonna start a little slow, you know, tease you guys a little bit, and then we're gonna work our way into the bigger changes. So TDM is confirmed. There was some talk about Control being the big permanent mode coming in, but it's TDM. It's a 6v6 3-round game mode, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like first to 30 and then first to 30 again, but it's best 2 out of 3. It does look pretty fun. I think it will be a great break from BR, and even, you know, if you want to warm up or something like that, it'll be a really good game mode to have. Will it be better than Control? I don't know. I hope so, because I like TDM more than I like Domination, and Control can really be one-sided. So I hope TDM is a little bit better, but it's infinitely better than Arenas. That's why they're scrapping Arenas, and TDM is going to be played on some arena maps. You saw it in the gameplay trailer, Party Crasher, Habitat 4, that kind of stuff, and also Skulltown. I'm really excited for Skulltown, that'll be fun. Now TDM will be here for 3 weeks permanently, but then after that it enters into a permanently rotating LTM playlist. So now you won't have to wait a couple weeks for an LTM to pop up. They're always going to be there, and it will be constantly cycling through them. It's a great change, but that's not the only thing that's rotating, because another big part of the next season is the ranked maps will also be on a rotation. All 3 of the main ranked maps, World's Edge, Stormpoint, and Broken Moon, will now be playable during the split. They will be on a 24-hour rotation, and I gotta be honest, I am a big fan of this. I do think it's a lot better for the casual side of Apex. People get bored pretty easily, and if you're forced to play the same map over and over and over, people kind of do get tired of it. And if it's not a map that you enjoy, it can really hurt player retention. Like for example, maybe today's map is on Stormpoint, and you're not the biggest fan of Stormpoint. Then you can sit out for a day, maybe play another game, hopefully not, maybe you're just playing TDM instead, but then the next day it's on World's Edge, and you like World's Edge a lot more, so you come back to your rank grinds. I think this is a great change, and Respawn is really killing it right now. The only thing that I am kind of worried about with this rotating map is if we're gonna get actual splits anymore. Like, will they be changing the maps in rotation on the splits, or what's going on with that? Like, when the next split happens, are we going to get KC and Olympus into the rotation, or what's going to happen? Because, you know, it's going to be kind of weird to play those same maps all season long, or maybe it won't be. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, sadly, that is the only change coming to ranked for this season. There are no plans to rework the rank system like a lot of people were hoping. Right now, the rank system is kind of in a weird state. It doesn't reward, in quotation marks, a healthy style of play for competitive environments. Most teams are dying way too early in the game, and for lack of better words, a lot of the early rings are just shit shows. My editor's gonna hate that I put a swear word in there, but you know, I couldn't think of a better word. Now, that's not to say that they don't have changes coming up, because they did go on record saying that they are evaluating it and do have some things planned throughout 2023. So I am very hopeful for that, because like with all these changes, these are all on the ball, and if they have more like this planned out, then I have very high hopes. Now, there was nothing about the matchmaking systems. I don't know what they plan to do with that. They did roll out a new skill-based matchmaking system this season, and they've also been constantly tweaking and playing around with it, so hopefully they're doing more stuff on the back end, because I know a lot of people in lower ranks don't want to have the same issues that they've been having previously. So for your guys' sake, I really do hope that there is some quiet matchmaking changes being implemented. And I do have faith that Respawn is actually doing all they can to take feedback from the community, because they are listening to a lot of things. The best example of this is the collection event. Now, lately, Respawn did drop the ball on the collection events. I usually go to bat for Respawn whenever I can, but here they really let me down. The skins were expensive for very lackluster things, like it was just a recolor of a Battle Pass reactive skin. That's very lazy. But Respawn has taken that feedback to heart, and they will no longer be doing reactive recolors at all in those collections. They have said that they've heard the community feedback, and they are rolling out changes as soon as possible for these events to make them a lot better for the players. They want you to be rewarded when you pay for something. And they've also welcomed a lot of feedback. They say we want feedback verbally and with your wallets. Don't spend money if you don't want the item. If you don't buy the item, it really shows Respawn what the player base does and doesn't want. And that is a huge help for them for future events rolling out. Now, next up, we are going to be seeing some changes to the meta in terms of weaponry. Assault rifles are getting hit very hard with some nerfs, and the R301 especially is getting hit. The R301 alone is getting a damage reduction going from 14 a bullet to 13 a bullet, and ARs as a whole are getting a massive nerf to their hipfire. They are no longer going to be very accurate in those close ranges when you're trying to hipfire. This is starting to take assault rifles away from being machines in every single range. This is a great change and a great nerf in my opinion. Right now, it doesn't matter if you're in long range, medium range, or close range, a 301 can just absolutely fry you. But now this is going to be putting more emphasis on shotguns and SMGs going forward, and I do think that SMGs are going to be very broken coming the next season. They're already pretty broken, but next season I don't think we're going to see as many shotguns as we do now. It's just going to be SMGs, but that's a way too early prediction. Now, because of all these changes going on with everything in Apex, we are not getting a new legend, but we are getting a new weapon. This is the Nemesis assault rifle. Now, this is an energy-based burst assault rifle, and early leaks of the gun used to show it becoming fully automatic after dealing enough damage, and I really liked that. I thought it was a really cool, unique ability, but they have scrapped that idea, and instead they've moved it so that as you do more damage, it just increases the rate of fire, but it still keeps it as a burst weapon. Now, I personally don't like burst weapons. I've never really been a fan of the Hemlock, even when it was busted. I do like the Prowler, but I do prefer it on select fire, so I am kind of interested to see how I'm going to like the Nemesis assault rifle, because Respawn wants to make this gun dethrone the 301 and the flatline, and I'm a 301 crutcher. I use that and abuse it whenever I can, so I can't wait to get my hands on the Nemesis, use it, and see if it's actually going to do what Respawn wants it to do. But it does make sense that they're introducing a burst weapon into the game, because the Hemlock, the other burst assault rifle, is going into the care package. The Rampage is coming back onto floor loot, and I actually really liked the Rampage in the care package. I thought it was the perfect shining example of what a care package weapon should be. Not absolutely necessary to pick up, but when you do pick up, you are rewarded with it because it's charged up already. It only uses its heat when you're starting to fire, and it comes with a thermite. The Hemlock is getting a damage increase, and also boosted loader will be built in, so it might be a solid replacement. The only fear that I have is that the Hemlock isn't a scary enough weapon to actually be a care package gun. If you guys remember, a few seasons ago, the triple take was in the care package, and that gun was an absolute joke as a care package gun. The only times that you picked it up is if you absolutely had to. Like if you had just been respawned and there's a care package right there, you grab the triple take because there's just nothing else. It was bad. So I'm a little bit worried if the Hemlock enters this state, because then it's just essentially a wasted care package gun, but this might just be me being skeptical. And of course, the crafting rotation guns are also being swapped. The G7 and the car are going back on ground loot, and the Volt and Longbow are taking their place. I think those are two very solid crafting rotation weapons. The Volt and Longbow, they're not meta defining, but for the very niche situations that they can be in, they're very good. So I do think that this is a good rotation. But okay, I know you guys are excited for this, and so am I. So let's talk about the legend changes. Now, Respawn has completely overhauled the class system in Apex, and we did know a few perks going into this through leaks, but there are some changes to these that we were wrong about. So let's break each one down with their perk and who's in it. Starting off with Assault. This is going to be Ash, Bangalore, Revenant, Fuse, and Mad Maggie. The Assault Legends are going to be able to open up the hidden shelf inside weapon supply bins. Kind of like how Lifeline can open up the little secret compartment on the blue bins, these guys are going to be opening up on the red bins. These red bins are going to be weapon supply bins, so it's going to be all focused around guns, and it's also going to have a smart loot system. So it's going to be reading what you have in your current loadout and give you attachments and upgrades based off of that. And because these guys are Assault Legends, they want to be fighting, they're also going to be able to store an extra stack of ammo per inventory slot. So instead of 60 per stack, you're getting 80 per stack. Moving forward, we have the Skirmishers. These are Valkyrie, Wraith, Mirage, Horizon, Octane, and Pathfinder. These guys can spot incoming care packages at a distance and see the high valuable items it contains. panes, kind of like how Loba can see through walls. They're also able to keep tabs on the revealed weapons and whether or not it has been equipped by an enemy team, so you'll know if somebody did pick up a weapon from that care package, and you'll have a little bit more information going into a fight with them. If a care package is coming down, you see it has a Kraber, you see somebody picks up the Kraber, you know, hey, don't stick my head out of cover. Now next up for recon, we have Crypto, Seer, Vantage, and Bloodhound. Now these legends are no longer going to be able to scan the beacon and give where the next ring is going to be, but instead they're going to be able to interact with a modified survey beacon to reveal enemy locations on the map for 30 seconds, though nearby enemies will be notified of the location of the beacon being scanned. Now for those of you that don't know what this means, it's essentially Crypto's map room on Kings Canyon, where you scan it and you get to see a little triangle on the map of where people are. This will be really good for the highly aggressive teams because you won't have to guess on where teams are going to be. You can just scan a beacon, figure out exactly where someone is, and then go to them. Moving into control legends though, we have Catalyst, Rampart, Watson, and Caustic, and these are the ones that are going to be scanning the beacons for next ring knowledge now. I think that this fits better on these guys than it does on the recon legends now that we have the rework class system, because these are the ones that want to set up in zone. These are the ones that want to hold buildings. And last up we have the support class. This is Lifeline, Newcastle, Loba, and Gibraltar. Now these guys are going to be able to access the hidden supply shelf in the blue bins like Lifeline used to, but on top of that, support legends can also craft banners of eliminated teammates at crafting station for 30 materials. And that's not all. They can also craft them even if they're expired. That is right, no more risking your life to grab your teammates' stupid banners because Octane jumped headfirst into a 1v20 situation. Rotate out, play your life, go find a replicator, craft up their banner, get them back in the game. It does not matter. This is fantastic. Thank you, Respawn. I'm a support main. Technically, I am a Catalyst main, but the playstyle that I have is support. I enjoy Gibraltar. I enjoy Newcastle. I might be switching back to these legends because of this change. This entire class rework system alone makes me excited for Season 16. All the other changes are just, cherry on top of the whipped cream, on top of the cake, on top of the 5-star meal that you just had. But that's not even all the changes to the legends that we're getting in Season 16, because there are some nerfs and buffs rolling out, especially for the OG crew. We are seeing a huge buff to Wraith where she can now place her portal twice as far as before. It's going to be going like 150 meters now. And she will also speed up over time as she travels that extra distance. So now not only is she going halfway across the map with her portal, she's also zoomy as she does it. This will be really good to pair with her phase, because if she's getting a massive speed boost, she's going to be able to travel a great distance in her phase and get you and your team to a new fantastic spot in zone. She's going to be really good for those endgame situations again, and even to get your team out of really sticky spots if you're in a third-party situation. Wraith was always really good at this, and she still has been pretty good at this, but now she's just going to be even better. Now Pathfinder is the next legend that's receiving a buff. He is getting a massive increase to his zipline distance as well. It's going to be going 400 meters. And to put that in perspective, that's like going from tree to harvester on one zip line. But not only that, Pathfinder is going to be getting a drastic speed increase on zip lines. So you're going to be a lot harder to hit on them, and you're going to be more elusive, because right now you can just absolutely beam somebody off a zip line. They are kind of dangerous to take. So I'm assuming it's going to be more kind of like a Valkyrie ult where you actually have to be good at tracking someone in order to shoot them off the zip line now. Now for all three Mirage mains out there, you guys can actually be rejoicing a little bit because he's getting some love as well. Mirage is now receiving a buff to his revive, where after you revive an ally, they will be cloaked for 3 seconds but unarmed. If you draw a weapon, it will break the cloak immediately. So this will give you a little bit of extra time to get behind cover, maybe start to pop a shield battery, something like that, before the enemy team can actually see where you went. Additionally, his bamboozles are now going to be a lot more effective, because whenever you shoot a clone, it is going to track the enemy that shot it for a period of time. This will give Mirage mains a little bit more usefulness in fights, because if they're actually able to pull off successful bamboozles, they will be able to outline where the enemy team is. Now, I don't think that this is going to bring Mirage into meta. I just don't think his character really works for Apex. I think he's more of just a fun pick for people, but this absolutely will make him less of a troll pick and actually be kind of useful for your team. But Mirage is not the only reviving character receiving some buffs, because Lifeline is as well. She's now not going to be as slowed down when she starts to revive a teammate, and she's also going to have greater distance on her care package, and it's going to be falling a lot faster as well. I did see some leaks a while ago saying that Lifeline's care package is going to be 2.5 times faster, so it's going to be coming down almost instantly now. This will make it a lot harder for teams to track where Lifeline is, and it's going to be less of a dinner bell ringing, so you're going to have an easier time getting the loot from the care packages, getting out of the area before teams can actually show up. Now those are the main buffs, so let's talk about the nerfs now. And yes, everyone can rejoice because Horizon is actually getting nerfed. It is coming. It's basically the same thing that came into the game at the start of the split. That was a bug where Horizon was not accurate on her gravity lift. The community was right. It was the intended nerf for season 16. It just kind of slipped through the cracks and went out too early. So yeah, Horizon not going to be accurate on her gravity lift anymore, but they did increase the speed in which she flies up to kind of counteract it a little bit. So it's going to be more of a relocation tool, taking height, taking new angles, stuff like that, but she's not going to be able to beam you on it as she goes up, which is, it's great. It's fantastic. We are also seeing potentially the end of the scan meta because not only is Seer getting nerfs, Bloodhound is getting nerfs as well. So first off, Seer, their ultimate has a longer cooldown and the duration is also decreased pretty hard. So it's going to be a lot harder for Seer to just start constantly throwing out ults in fights. You're going to have to use them a little bit more strategically. And also his heartbeat sensor now has a charge up time, so he can't just spam it out. And you only get the scan on the heartbeat pulses. You don't get to constantly see where somebody is. So it's going to be kind of like how Pulse works in Rainbow Six Siege. And to quote the great Billy Mays, but wait, there's more, because his heartbeat sensor will now be audible to nearby enemies. If a Seer is tracking you, you're going to know about it. I was kind of hoping to see some changes to his tactical. It's really annoying that it cancels reviving and heals, but I get that nerfing that as well would be a little bit too much. So I am excited to see how these changes do affect him and change him in the meta. Hopefully we just don't see him anymore because he is very annoying. But the other scan legend getting some changes is Bloodhound, and the ultimate will no longer be speeding up your tactical charge. Instead, you're now going to be able to find white ravens around the map, and then when you interact with them, they will fly in the direction of the closest enemy team, guiding you into battle. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't know how I feel about this one. It's technically Bloodhound because it's like more lore accurate using the ravens, but it just doesn't feel like Apex walking up to a raven, interacting with it, and sending it off to guide you to the nearest team. It just seems kind of weird, and I used to main Bloodhound. I have something like 12,000 kills on the Hound. This just seems like such a weird change. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad because I can't even imagine it. But let me know what you guys think about all these season 16 changes in the comments down below, and if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I will see you guys in the next one.